Hey, what's up, St. Creek Fun Ensemble and Percussion Section? Yeah, it's me again, Antonio. Second video. I'll probably get a couple more in before I head out for the summer in a couple of days. But this one, we're going to be going over technique for drumming and mallet playing. Gonna go over some match technique, and then we'll do 2 mallets and a little bit of 4 mallets for those of you who will be playing it. So, that's all I got. Let's get to it. Alright. Before I get into any technique stuff, just a quick thing. Everyone teaches different techniques. There's a universal understanding of how you should be playing percussion, but you're gonna get different things from everybody. So this is just my approach that I like to teach. Don't go around saying this is the right way, because you're gonna hear a bunch of different things from everyone for the drumming and for the mallet stuff. So for this season, this is what we're gonna ideally do, and let's do it. So first part is going to be a lot for my rack friends anytime you're playing a drum. So mallet players, I suggest still watching, but this will be for any sort of concert playing you do on a snare drum, anything like that, or for parades or pep band. I imagine we'll be playing match grip because that's what Mrs. Evans likes to teach. You can also show this part of the video to the battery people because I imagine, again, they'll be playing match technique. So, match technique. This is it. This is matched percussion technique. So, to start, you hold drumstick, not all the way back, not in the middle. Find that nice middle point right there. You want a few inches out the back, just for some balance right there. But you hold it. Your fulcrum, this is the pivot point where you hold the drumstick. You want it to be your thumb and your pointer finger. This is where you're going to control and pinch all of this. Just kind of hold it, no super tight squeezing, you gotta be relaxed. That's the whole big thing for percussion, stay relaxed at all times. Then you just wrap the rest of your fingers around like that, and you got it. Your fingers are there for speed and support, for any sort of faster tempos, sound quality, anything like that. But just make sure when you're playing, they never come off like this. You don't want any of this kind of stuff. Keep them wrapped around no matter what. That's a very big rule for percussion. Keep your fingers wrapped around at all times. Most of the time. Alright, for the way you should be playing, the stroke, I've said this a lot, I'll keep saying it, stroke should always be initiated from the wrist first. Feel this wrist rotation, feel how far you can rotate your wrist all the way around. Here, here, all the way. Your wrist it can move a whole bunch, so utilize it. That's how we play. It's all going to come from here. You add in some arm as we need to do some visual stuff, maybe some sound things, but for now, keep it right here, all on the wrist. Of course, you'll get just the residual bounce, but keep it all right here in your wrist. Cool. I'll try and get a different angle for this. We'll see what happens. But for how your hand should look from your point of view, the back of your hand should be completely flat, pointed upwards. You don't want to go into French grip. None of this. You don't want any of this over-rotating. Don't know what that is. Keep it nice and flat right here. Again, stay relaxed. And that's match technique. Do the other hand. There you go. You're good. One thing to look out for, make sure this right here, your pointer finger and thumb, you keep this space closed. Mallet players, you'll see something else, I'll tell you about that. But yes, stay loose, not this loose. Keep it here, again, no squeezing. Nice and loose. You can still play like this and be completely okay. For your playing position, just stand here relaxed, bring your arms up. There should be a little bit of space right here, not like this, not chicken arm. It should feel pretty normal, and just set up over your drum, and just get to playing. And one last small thing, make sure to always have your drumsticks, mallets, whatever, into a pointed triangle pizza shape. You always want this. Drums, you stay right here, mallets, we go like this, but always maintain this triangle shape, no matter what, unless we tell you otherwise. But always this. Just take your technique, and we're good. Yeah. If you have any questions on matched percussion technique, you can find stuff everywhere on the internet. But this is what I like to teach, how I want to play it. So again, rack players, anything like that, this is what we're going to be doing for the season. Yeah. Alright, next is going to be for all of my mallet players or anytime you're playing a mallet instrument. Now this doesn't directly translate into your concert playing, so like you can use it, it's fine for that, but there's other things that are better for concert style playing of mallet instruments. So for this, for two mallet technique, you have all sorts. You got front finger, back finger, middle finger, traveling, there's all sorts of things. I like to do a mixture of back and middle finger fulcrum. So what that means is your fulcrum is with your ring finger and your pinky finger, like so. These are what's like holding your mallet as its main source of connection to your hand. This is what's holding everything. You put them right here. You want like maybe an inch, just a little bit hand on the back of your hand. Then you put your middle finger next to these other ones. No tension at all, it's just kind of there. It's for like a guidance point and support. And then you do the same thing almost with your pointer finger, but this one, it gets slid out from the rest of the fingers. You want it out just a little bit more, kind of like this. And then your thumb just goes placed right on here, right across from your pointer finger. You want to make that kind of plus sign. Plus sign is big for everything. So again, control in the back, support in these ones, and just really loose kind of control in the front right here. Just like that. Same with the drumming. You want everything to come from your wrist, all right here. But you should be able to hold it without your other fingers and it should stay there just fine. Now, differing from matched snare drum technique. You don't want your hand all the way flat over here. You don't want it in French grip. You want it not right in the middle. It should still feel pretty natural and normal. You want your pointer finger knuckle to be pointed upwards instead of flat like here, not here, right in the middle. So yeah, that's what it's going to be. And that's how I like to do two mallet playing. At least for some things, we might get into some more elaborate stuff later, but that's the gist of it. Same thing for both hands, and that's how it is. Again, I'll try and get some other angles for these ones, but this is it. Big things for this, make sure your control is in the back right here, and then your pointer fingers stay pushed out. You want that space right here. You also want that space right here, like I said, not to have for the other one. Space right here keeps everything loose. Yeah, that's it. Alright, now it's time for a quick tutorial of four mallet technique. Now this is only going to apply to maybe 4 of you. I suggest just hanging around listening to this anyways. It's going to help you grow. If you want to try and pick it up on your own, go for it. But this is mostly going to be this season for anyone playing marimba or xylophone. So, same with every other thing, there's multiple techniques. You got cross grip, also known as Burton, that's for jazz. You got Stevens grip, that's for marimba and for the marching arts for the most part. And then there's traditional. I don't do traditional, I hate it. But each has their own thing, so we're going to do Stevens grip because that's the one I know. So let's start. Take your first mallet and you put it near the palm of your hand, give or take. It's really whatever's comfortable. We're going to start with in the palm of your hand. And then you put it on your pointer finger right here, and your thumb finger just goes, your thumb just goes right on top of it. You make that plus sign like I mentioned earlier. This is essentially the fulcrum, but it's being held back here in your hand. This is all super loose, really, really loose, but still in control. So that's this first mallet. The second mallet, you slide in between your ring finger and middle finger and out the back of your hand right in this kind of fatty pad right here. And then it just kind of sits there. You wrap your wrap your ring finger and pinky finger around it like so, and have just a tad bit sticking out, less than with two mallets. And it'll sit like this. They will be offset because that's, one's higher than the other. That's just how it is, which is why this is used for marimba, different registers. It should be like this. Again, I'll get some other angles, but super loose. It should be super loose, but you still have control to be able to play everything. So, moving on, the way you hold it, you don't want to be flat like this because your mallets are like this. You want it to be as if you're shaking someone's hand, up and down just like that. So you have it like this, boom, up and down like so, and your mallets become straight or become flat with each other. So here, here. Cool. Same with everything else I've been saying. Everything comes from your wrist. All the rotations are right from the wrist, whether it's both at the same time or one at a time. Yeah. So with all these rotations of individual mallets, you want to think about it as moving your one mallet around the other mallet. I just think of it as moving around right here, I was just given a tip a few weeks ago of think about it as moving around the tip in your hand, and that's going to help it stay controlled more. So yeah, good way to practice that is by holding one end and doing this, or putting it against a wall or something and just kind of doing this kind of thing. But yeah, we will be playing from a relaxed technique, or from a relaxed low area. So what that means is anytime we're playing just 2 mallets while holding 4, you're going to want the one to stay lower. So you're going to go like here and rotate everything upwards. Don't want to do any of this. This is another technique. It is fine, but we are going to do this. Everything rotates here and stays relaxed down towards the instrument you're playing. Yeah, to get different size intervals, it's kind of like a weird push-pull motion of your thumb and pointer finger rolling outwards, and you're loosening up your middle finger, and everything kind of just goes out. You bring it back to go tighter. That's all it is. It's not that bad, but everything's going to take a lot of time. This takes a lot of time to build in your hands, a lot of muscles working here. For any of these rotations, you're going to want to feel it in this back part of your forearm, all right here. It's a muscle, it's going to hurt, it's going to get sore, you're going to build it. You're also going to get blisters and burns on all of your hands, but that's what it is, that's how it has to be. But yeah, that's basic rundown of 4 mallet Stevens technique for what I like to play, what we're going to play. Go ahead and give it a try. Again, you can look up all sorts of stuff about it, but this is what I like to do. Please go with this technique and how I've explained it. If you need more, let me know. But this is it. Yeah. Alright, that's all I got for some basic technique stuff for drumming and mallet playing. My bass and guitar players and synth players, I'm sorry I did not play those instruments. Hopefully we have some people coming in who can give you some more advice. If not, I'd suggest just practicing what you know how to practice and everything will be okay. Yeah, again, just don't take these as the only way to play these instruments. This is just how I like to do it, how I want you guys to do it for the season, and it'll be very effective. But we all have to have the same approach, so we can be good with that. That's all I have for this video, and yeah, next one we'll probably be going over some warm-ups and playing through them. But yeah, see you guys.